In 2011, a French father made a decision that would shock the world. Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès methodically murdered his wife and 4 children in their own home. But the killing was just the beginning. For weeks, he crafted an elaborate lie. He told neighbors the family was moving for his secret government job. He forged letters about witness protection programs. He even had their mail sent to fake addresses. Meanwhile, he buried the bodies under their own terrace, covered them with lime and concrete. When police finally discovered the truth months later, they found something terrifying. He had planned everything, researched murder methods online, bought weapons and lime weeks in advance, every detail calculated. The night after killing his entire family, security cameras caught him calmly checking into a hotel. Then he vanished. Despite one of France's largest manhunts and hundreds of sightings across the globe, Dupont de Ligonnès has never been found. Somewhere out there, a man who erased his entire family walks free. The question isn't just where he is, it's who he really was. In 1845, 129 of Britain's finest sailors set out to conquer the Arctic. They were searching for the legendary Northwest Passage. They never came home. For decades, no one knew what happened to the Franklin expedition. Then search parties began finding clues. The truth was beyond horrifying. Both ships had become trapped in ice. The crew slowly starved. But that wasn't the worst part. Inuit witnesses reported seeing white men dragging sleds filled with human body parts across the frozen wasteland. Archaeological evidence confirmed the nightmare. Bones showed clear cut marks from knives. Lead poisoning from their canned food had driven the men completely insane. They boiled their leather boots for soup. They ate each other's organs. Even the officers weren't spared. Some survivors walked hundreds of miles south, cannibalizing their dead companions along the way. They left a gruesome trail of gnawed human bones scattered across the Canadian Arctic. One by one, they all froze to death anyway. The Franklin expedition became one of history's most disturbing examples of how quickly civilized men can descend into madness. For over 30 years, hundreds of prisoners became human test subjects in one of America's darkest medical experiments. Holmesburg Prison in Philadelphia looked like any other jail. But behind its walls, something horrific was happening. Inmates were paid a few dollars to participate in what they thought were harmless tests. They had no idea what was really being done to them. Researchers deliberately infected prisoners with diseases. They exposed them to chemicals that burned through their skin. They conducted radiation experiments on living human beings. Prisoners had chunks of skin cut from their bodies. They were given experimental drugs with no idea what they contained. Many endured procedures that would be considered torture today. Most of the victims were black men who had no power to refuse. The program was funded by the US Army and major companies. The doctor in charge later admitted he saw prisoners as perfect test subjects because they couldn't leave. Many developed cancer. Others were left with permanent scars and lifelong health problems. The full truth only came out decades later. Most victims never got a penny in compensation. In 1960, 4 Finnish teenagers went camping at Lake Bodom for a fun summer night. By dawn, 3 of them were dead. Someone had brutally attacked their tent with a knife and blunt weapon while they slept. Only 18-year-old Niels Gustafsson survived, but he claimed no memory of what happened. The crime scene made no sense. The tent was collapsed but never cut open. Personal items were stolen, but expensive valuables were left behind. The killer had partially cleaned the scene before disappearing. Police completely bungled the investigation. They let curious crowds contaminate evidence and lost crucial forensic material. For decades, suspects emerged. A violent local man confessed on his deathbed. A mysterious foreigner was seen in the area. Then 44 years later, police made a shocking arrest. They charged Niels Gustafsson himself, the sole survivor. They claimed new evidence proved he killed his own friends in a psychotic episode. He was acquitted. Today, the Lake Bodom murders remain officially unsolved. 3 young lives lost to an unknown killer who may have been hiding in plain sight all along. Between 1948 and 1954, hundreds of babies simply vanished from Israeli hospitals. Their parents were told the children had died, but no bodies were ever shown. No death certificates, no graves. Decades later, many of these dead children were found alive. They had been stolen as babies and given to other families with fake documents. Government officials and hospital staff had systematically kidnapped infants from Yemenite Jewish families. Children from Middle Eastern backgrounds were targeted because European authorities considered them primitive. The stolen babies were given new identities and placed with Ashkenazi families. Parents who demanded answers were dismissed as mentally unstable. Some were threatened into silence. When families tried to investigate, they hit walls of bureaucracy and lies. Multiple government investigations later confirmed the kidnappings happened, but the full scope was covered up. Files remain classified to this day. Many parents died never knowing their children were alive somewhere else, living under different names. This wasn't random tragedy. It was systematic ethnic cleansing disguised as child welfare. The babies who disappeared reveal a darker truth about institutional racism in Israel's founding years.